Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here. In today's video, the topic is my case a hero or do I have a zero? Or maybe I should say, is my case a hero or will I get zero in my injury case? And so, I still get, despite all the videos I shoot on YouTube and my free injury report and my free Do I Have a Good Case Calculator quiz, and my case cash calculator that tells you what your case might be worth. All of those are free on my website, links in the description. And despite the fact that I give a free consultation anytime, night or day, 24/7, 365, just by calling 312-500-4500, I still get the same question. Do I have a good case or is it a bad case? Or maybe they talked to a lawyer and the lawyer wasn't enthusiastic about their case. Or maybe they talked to a family member and their family member said, oh, it's not going to be worth it. You're not going to get anything out of it. The lawyer's going to take all the money. Or maybe you have a cousin or somebody down the street who their friend got $1 million and they weren't even hurt. That's what they told you, right? But this is what I'm going to say. Like in the comments section of my videos, I still get a ton of people who want to know, do I have this awesome case? Am I going to win? Or do I have a case that I should brace myself because it's going to be a zero? It's going to be a not guilty. I'm not going to get any money. Or am I going to be really disappointed in the money? Okay? So to answer that, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that deciding whether a case is awesome or not comes down to deciding whether it's a workers' comp case or a third-party case. A workers' comp case is an injury at work. A third-party case is a car crash, bicycle crash, motorcycle, bus, truck crash, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, dog bite, bar fight, fall down. Any injury case that goes to the regular court and gets heard by a judge or a judge and a jury is in one category. The other category is workers' comp. Let's talk about workers' comp first. You don't have to prove that your employer was at fault or caused your injury in workers' comp. All you have to prove is that you were working in the course and scope of your job, in the furtherance of your job, and you got hurt. That's it. Okay? If you prove that and you're an employee, you're entitled to workers' comp benefits. What benefits do you get? You get 2/3 of your pay when you're off work with a doctor's note as a result of injuries from sustained at work. Your doctor bills paid if they're treating you for injuries related to work and you don't see too many different doctors, okay? You get 2 chains of referrals of doctors. Maybe I'll shoot a video about that as well. And the third thing is you generally get a lump sum of money at the end of the case. Now, can you get other things in workers' comp depending on your situation? Of course. You can get a big lump sum settlement. You can get permanent benefits for your entire working life. You can get job retraining and get put in a different, job position. There's a ton of things that are available, but that are more rare. But the 3 things that you usually get are paid while you're off work, medical care paid for, lump sum of money at the end of the case when you get MMI, maximum medical improvement, meaning you're as good as you're going to get. So how do we know if you have a good case? Well, if you're an employee, you got hurt at work, doing your job, you weren't taking a break and doing something you weren't supposed to do, you didn't go into the parking lot and get into a fist fight with a stranger, you weren't breaking the rules. If you were working and you're an employee, you're probably covered, right? Now, there's a million defense to those cases. And then the general rule is that the fastest way for me to explain it to you is the bigger the injury, the bigger the medical bills, the more time you're off work, the bigger the case, the more money you're going to get. No medical treatment, gaps in medical treatment, disputes about whether the medical treatment really is related, all of those things bring the value of the case down, right? And then from there, it's case by case. And the one unique thing about workers' comp is the amount of money you make per week is going to determine how much money you end up with too. Is it fair? I don't really know that it's fair, but it's the way it works. So here's what I'm talking about. Two guys break their legs. One guy brings home $500 a week. Another guy brings home $1,000 a week. The guy who breaks his leg, same break, same injury, same outcomes, same doctors, same surgery. The guy who makes $500 a week is going to put about a half the amount that the guy who makes $1,000 a week puts in his pocket. It's just the way comp works. That doesn't mean that lower wage earners, it's not worth it, because it totally is. You get paid while you're off work, you get your medical bills paid, and you end up with money at the end of the case. And that should be the goal, is to get better and get back to work if it's at all possible. And if you can't, to protect the value of that case in case they've got to pay you for the rest of your life. You want to get as much as you can because money makes the world go round. So that deals with workers' comp, but what about PI? It's pretty similar, okay? The difference is we have to prove that whoever we're suing, even if there's multiple different entities, we have to prove that they did something wrong. In other words, that there was negligence, that they were negligent and their negligence caused your injury. And so here's how it's different in third-party cases. If you get hurt, we have to prove what percent was your fault, what percent was the defendant's fault, right? Ideally, we want your fault to be 0, but if your fault is more than 50%, then the case is a not guilty. That's the law in Illinois. If you are more than 50% at fault for causing your own injuries, you can't make a claim against anybody else for them. You're stuck with them. But if you are somewhere between 0 and 25%, 0 and 50% at fault, your damages get reduced by that percentage of fault. Okay? So in other words, let's say somebody awards you $100,000 for your injuries, but they decide that you are 25% at fault. Well, that means you put $75,000 in your pocket instead of $100,000, because the $100,000 gets reduced by 25%, which was determined to be your percentage fault. But if you're 51% at fault, even though your damages have been determined to be $100,000, you don't get anything. So that's a big difference in third-party cases. The other big difference in third-party cases is what you get in settlement or jury or judge decision at trial or arbitration is not limited by how much you make per week. So in theory, a guy who makes, $25,000 a year versus a guy who makes $100,000 a year, if they break the same leg in a workers' comp case, the guy who makes more money gets more money at the end of the case, but that's not true in a car crash, a fall down, dog bite, bar fight, medical malpractice, nursing home. It's based on the injury, the medical bills, the medical treatment, and pain and suffering, disability, how permanent the injury is. Because if you have a permanent limp, that's a much more valuable case than somebody who breaks their leg and is walking fine afterwards, right? But the only way that your income varies in a third-party case is if you're making a wage loss claim. So let's say you've got a year off work for the guy who's making $25,000 and a year off work for the guy who's making $100,000. It's self-explanatory. The guy who makes $25,000, we can claim $25,000. The guy who makes $100,000, we can claim $100,000. But it has no effect on pain and suffering, disability, loss of a normal life, disfigurement, loss of consortium. All of these additional claims for damages we can make in third-party cases that we can't make in workers' comp. So I think I've talked enough. Probably half of you watching are like, DeSalvo, you talk too much. Well, I'm a lawyer. What do you expect? It's what I do for a living. If I didn't talk too much, imagine if I was a librarian and I had to be quiet all day and I like to talk so much. It would be a bad job for me. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this information helps you. If I can help you or a loved one, please give me a holler at 312-500-4500. Completely free, no obligation to talk to me. And you can call that number anytime, night or day, 312-500-4500. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the video. Share it with your friends. If you know somebody who might need some information about injury videos, share my channel with them. I've got well over 200 videos explaining how injury cases work now. All free, all no obligation, all to help injured people, whether you hire me or refer me your case or not. I just like to help people. Tons of good resources on my website. I'll leave the links in the description. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Take care.